Hello everyone, my name is Eliana Rutherford. I am a sophomore at Concordia College. I'm a biology major, and I will be one of the members of Exotic Animal Care and Husbandry Club coming to talk to you today at COS. I will be presenting on our red-footed tortoise named Girdle in ISC. He is one of our ambassador animals for our outreach program. So red-footed tortoises are native to South America. Their scientific name is Chelidonius carbonaria. And in the wild, they typically live 20 to 40 years, but in captivity, they've been known to live 50 to 90 years. So when people get these as pets when they're younger, they basically grow up with these. And a joke in the reptile community is that you'll have to put them in your will because they'll outlive you probably. In the wild, they are at a low risk of extinction. They are very prolific and are very abundant in South America and similar ecosystems. So they are at no risk of extinction as of now. Adults can typically grow to be 14 inches long and weigh up to 20 pounds. In captivity, that can vary a little bit because based off of husbandry and how their care was, being that they live so long, their care can really vary as things come out in research and whatnot. But they have been known to get as big as 14 inches long and can weigh up to 20 pounds. In the wild, they are shade dwellers and they eat a lot of fruits, more than most tortoise species. Most tortoise species are known for living in deserts and dry areas, but the red-footed tortoise lives in a more rainforesty, humid area with a lot of fruit. So their diet is mainly consistent of greens and weeds, like lettuces, dandelion greens, whatever you can find out in the wild pretty much. And then they, like I said, they eat more fruit than normal tortoises. Their diet is also consistent of about 10% protein, but it can be a little bit more, a little bit less. If their diet is not good when they're younger, or if their husbandry is off, they can get what's called pyramiding. You can see a little bit on Girdle with the bumps on his shells. A wild tortoise has a completely smooth shell, pretty much, if it is in its natural habitat. Because our husbandry varies so much in their long years, they can get pyramiding. It's not super detrimental to their health, but it can be super severe, and that can cause a lot of problems in their old age. Because we cannot provide the exact husbandry that they come from, a lot of tortoise owners provide supplements, and the most common one is known as Missouri. So you can see in the top right corner here a picture of Girdle eating some lettuce, and he has some brown little pellets in there. That is called Missouri. It is made up of a bunch of supplements and weeds and is a good supplement to what they are missing in their diet. And some people also add cuttlebone or calcium powder to increase that as well for their natural habitat of eating eggs and whatnot out in the wild. Their husbandry is super, super important because it's what keeps them healthy. Because they live so long in the captivity, it's important that everything is kept up to date so that they can have long, healthy lives. So when they're younger and when they're older, the husbandry is pretty similar, but most of this is based off of when they are older. So they need UVB for 12 to 14 hours a day. That can be provided either naturally if you live in a place where it's warm outside, like our summers here, or it can be provided using proper UVB strip lights. They need to be soaked daily or every 2 to 3 days, depending on their hydration. This can either be self-soaking, like you see in the top right corner with Girdle in his little water bowl, or where you put them in a bathtub or something and then let them sit in there for 20 to 30 minutes in lukewarm water. Girdle loves his baths, as you can see in the middle picture. He's wrapped up in a towel afterwards, smiling. It really makes them feel good. It keeps them hydrated. It helps them digest and keeps everything moving along perfectly. They also need hard surfaces to trim down their beak. If their beak grows too long, it's hard to eat and hard for them to pick up things. So a lot of tortoise owners will feed on a slate to keep the beak trimmed down every time that they bite. But if it gets too long, vets can surgically cut it off and remove it to keep it shorter again. Their humidity and temps can vary a little bit, but typically it's like 80 on the cool side and 90 to 95 degrees on the warmer side, with a nighttime natural drop of 70-ish degrees. Their humidity should be about 60 to 70%, but it can vary a little bit depending on, like, we have really, really dry winters here, so it's a little bit harder to keep the humidity up there. Having a soft substrate helps them dig, and it also helps provide more humidity and moisture for them. So Girdle here, a little bit about Girdle. He is 15 to 20 years old. We're not exactly sure. He came to us as a full-grown adult probably 7 or 8 years ago. He was donated to Concordia, so we don't know his exact age, but we know he's probably somewhere around there. So he's still got a lot of life left in him. He resides in ISC in his own little 6 by 2 by 2 enclosure. And you can probably see him every time that you walk by there. He loves, loves, loves attention from students, and he loves to take naps. They'll curl up with them and just sit there while they study and whatnot. And another cool fact is that he loves to eat anything red. Tomatoes, strawberries, nail polish, you name it, he'll try to eat it. So some future plans we have for Girdle are to expand his enclosure, because red-footed tortoises do take up a lot of space, and they need a lot of space to roam if they're not being taken out every day. And even if they are being taken out every day, they do still need the proper husbandry. So you can't take them out for 8 hours without that proper humidity and heating, because it can cause a lot of problems, digestive and dehydration and whatnot. So our plan is to increase, so this is his current enclosure right now. We're going to add a second layer up here and then add a ramp where that little line is. So that'll provide him a whole nother story, doubling his space, and that'll be a summer project this year. We also want to start back in with outreach once it's safe. Right now we had to stop with the pandemic because it's too hard with people carrying COVID and trying to keep everyone safe. But now that vaccines are coming out, we're hopeful that we can get back into the outreach program and start bringing the animals out to see students again. And in those outreach programs, we like to inform people these animals aren't just for fun at Concordia, they're also to teach people how to properly care and research these animals. These are not just everyday toss some food on the ground thing. They are living creatures that will probably outlive you, and it's their right to get the best treatment possible while we have them. So that's why it's super, super important to do the proper research before you get an animal and know that you're ready for the commitment. But when we bring these exotic animals out for outreach, we like to help everybody learn how to take care of them so that if they do get this animal, they know what they're getting into and we won't have a bunch of animals rehomed. That is all I have for you today. So thank you for joining me in this presentation and enjoy the rest of class. Bye.